Good morning, Team Glow. How are you guys? This morning I'm going to tell you all about how I do my 5-minute face for Savvy Minerals. So before I started, I wanted to show you guys, this is how I keep my brushes. It's actually a toothpaste holder, or excuse me, toothbrush holder. It's good to keep them standing upright. So before I get started, I'm just going to tell you I'm not an expert, I'm not an esthetician, I just am a Savvy Mineral enthusiast. So I'm going to show you guys how I do it. So first I'm going to start with warm 2, oh, it's backwards, warm 2, and I'm going to use this as a cover up. So I'm just going to tap in just a little bit, and then I'm going to use this makeup thingamabobber, and I'm going to tap it on, and I'm going to just put it under my circles. All right, so this is interesting, putting it on in a camera because I can't see what I'm doing, but that's okay. I'll just go with it. Let me just tap it on any place that has redness. So I get my nose, and I'm doing this to kind of cover up, like I said, any of the redness, my dark circles. Get down here on my chin. It's all nicely detoxing. And get over here. And I just tap it on, okay? And one more. And so normally what I would do is I would let this mix sit for 5 minutes or so, and it's called baking. And it uses the temperature of your skin to basically set it. But we don't have 5 minutes today, so we're gonna move on to the next step. So I would just let that sit, and it's all set, and then let's pretend we waited 5 minutes. And then I move on to my warm number 3, tap that in, get a pretty fair amount in there. I'm gonna take my Savvy Mineral foundation brush. I only squirt it one time, and then I use the back of my hand and kind of blot it around to make sure the whole brush is covered. Tap it in, and then just use little circles to get my foundation on. Make sure I do my eyes first while the brush is still wet in order to make sure I get good coverage. And I do my chin. I'm actually going to put a little bit more in. And do my forehead. You see, I just quickly am going over it. Want all the spaces. And then we don't want to forget our neck because we don't want to have that awful 80s neckline. Right? So, there we go. That's foundation. And you can put on more layers, but this is just the 5-minute makeup, okay? So that's it, that's foundation. Next up, we're going to do blush. I don't prefer the Savvy Minerals brush. It's too, if you look, I don't know, it's just too squishy for me. So I don't use that one. I use, I don't know, I think this is e.l.f. and it's a flat top brush. So again, I just one spray, use the back of my hand, make sure it's all perfectly covered, tap in, let's see, let me see, tap in a little bit of that, dip it, and then you just apply in little circles. Get the other side. You wanna, obviously make it as close to the other one as you can, which it's not. I'll put a little bit more in there. There we go. You guys can kind of see real quick. And let's say it's too shiny here, the mica is a little too much for you. You could go back and use the little application and tap it down, just like that. Make sure we're all blended. Next, I do the veil. Now you need an itsy bitsy one little tap of veil. I don't use the misting spray with the veil. You don't really need it. So I don't know if you guys can see that just a little bit, and then I just kind of, but you make sure you get your forehead, and you can do it over the blush for a little extra sparkle. And the veil basically keeps you from shining and setting that, it sets that foundation, so it keeps it nice. Now as you can see, I put the veil on and I'm not too sparkly, just a little sparkle. If you want a lot of sparkle, you can add a lot more, but I don't want to be looking like I'm, you know, a star in the solar system here, so I only put a little bit on. So next we're going to do, if I can find my Savvy brush, this is the brush. So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to get a little bit of unscripted. Again, you just need a very small amount of this stuff, and you can layer it as you need it. So there it is on there. And then you're just going to go right here, right at the crease, and drag it over. So you kind of get a nice effect right here, a little dramatic, opening up your eye. Get that in there, and then you can go down here. And I just kind of swipe it over, almost like painting. And then we do the other side. You want them, like I said, you want them to match the best you can. Or I guess someone said they're like cousins. They look similar, but they don't have to be perfect. So I'm going to put a little bit more in. You guys don't need a lot of this stuff. A little goes a long way. And I don't actually bring it all the way over to the corner over here, and I'll show you why in a minute. So let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty close. Hard to tell on a camera. And so the other thing I forgot to show you guys is I have this Norwex cloth, and I take it and to clean my brushes daily. I just kind of go like that, get all the stuff off, and then you're good to go. And then I'll grab, I have a different brush, because now that my brush is wet, I don't want to use that and apply. You can, that's called foiling. If you have, if you want to wet your brush either with a misting spray or even a little water, you could do that, and then you put it here, and it gives a nice, really super shiny effect, which is nice, and maybe I'll do that another day. So now I have, what is this one? Residual. And with residual, what I do is I put it on there, and then I put it in the corner of my eye to open it up, and then I sweep over. So just anything to brighten your eye is never a bad thing. And then you're going to put it on the top, just like that. Again, a little brightener isn't a bad thing. And I forgot to do here, so we're going to do there, and then swipe over. And again, it's just a nice look. Just open it up. And then, so that's that. I'm going to clean my brush again. Just take it off, the excess off. And then I take the Savvy, what is this, blending brush, and just go right there. And it kind of creates a nice soft line. And there you go. That's your 5-minute face. Now, I've been using Melissa Pepping's line for a while, so I actually have her Sweet Savvy mascara. So I'm going to put that on, and that would be the end of it. That's my 5-minute face. So, hope you guys can see. It's really easy. It's really quick. It's not hard. It goes on so super smooth. And maybe another day I'll show you the whole full routine that doesn't take me too much longer than this. I use eyeliner and a couple layers of the foundation. But hopefully you're all having a wonderful day. Bye.